President Muhammadu Buhari has warned that it would be economically dangerous for Nigeria to go back to the era of fuel subsidy. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are the top 10 stories now. At number 10, the governorship aspirant of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, Banji Okunomo, has resigned his membership and joined the camp of the Zenith Labour Party. Okunomo, who was the former publicity secretary of the PDP and a former council chairman, announced his resignation from the PDP on Monday. Recall that the choice of the deputy governor picked by the party's governorship candidate, Eyitayo Jegede, had continued to polarize the party and deepened its crisis. National and state leaders of the party had pleaded with Jegede to pick one of the aspirants that contested the primary with him, but he allegedly ignored them. Many of the aspirants have since withdrawn their support after Jegede picked Boluga as his running mate. At number 9, a broken dam holding toxic substances produced by a Chinese company in Omotosho Forest Reserve in Okitipupa, Ondo State, has claimed the lives of 3 persons in the state. This was confirmed by the Ondo State Police Command. The company, Wewood, is engaged in cassava to ethanol production and production of plywood and tiles in the area. The 3 victims were Akimu Shire Monday, Samuel Lewis, and Ododolewa Adebowale. The trio went to the forest to extract timber for sawmillers when they reportedly failed to return home. It was gathered that members of the community were mobilized to search the forest for them, only to discover their bodies washed down a flood channel in the forest reserve. The police public relations officer Tilio Ikoro said the deaths occurred due to the overflow of a mini dam created by the company. At number 8, the Federal Road Safety Corps on Sunday said it impounded 8,345 commercial buses for failure to adhere to safety protocols against the spread of COVID-19 in Anambra State. The sector commander in the state, Andrew Kumapai, said that about 962 rickety trucks were also impounded between January and August. He said the arrests were made during the joint operations of the FRSC and the Anambra State Ministry of Transport. Following the lifting of the ban on interstate travels by the federal government, commercial transport operators were urged to adhere strictly to COVID-19 safety protocols to curb the spread of the disease in the state. However, the impounded vehicles were said to have flouted the safety protocols, hence their seizure. At number 7, 27 stranded Nigerian girls were evacuated from Lebanon on Sunday by the federal government. The evacuees arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Receiving them, the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ferdinand Nwoye, who represented the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, said the evacuation was in fulfillment of the Nigerian government's promise to ensure no Nigerian is left stranded in Lebanon. Nwoye said the Nigerian government was aware of the unfortunate situation of Nigerians stranded in Lebanon, hence the collaboration to ensure their safe returns to the country. The spokesperson of the Foreign Affairs Ministry told journalists that the stranded Nigerians were evacuated in line with the federal government's guidelines on COVID-19 evacuations. He said the girls were tested in Beirut before embarking on the journey, and they were also profiled on arrival. At number 6, troops of Operation Wellstroke have arrested 4 armed bandits and recovered arms and ammunition during 2 raids at bandits camp in Benue and Nasarawa states. In one of the operations carried out on September 6, 2020, the troops neutralized bandits in Goma Forest in Benue State and Kiana in Nasarawa State. 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 AK-47 rifle magazine, 1 locally made pistol, and 3 mobile phones were recovered from the bandits. In another operation, troops of Sector 1 deployed at Gagbe in Gwe West local government area of Benue State raided armed bandits' hideout in Seagi. 4 suspects were apprehended, while 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 AK-47 rifle magazines, and 46 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition were recovered at the location. These were contained in a press release issued by the Coordinator Defense Media Operations, John Enenche, on Monday. At number 5, Egypt has announced the discovery of a collection of more than 13 intact sealed coffins dating back to 2,500 years. In a statement, the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities said the coffins were found at an archaeological site in Saqqara Necropolis in Giza. According to the statement, the coffins, along with 3 sealed niches, were unearthed inside 11-meter deep shaft. Egyptian Tourism and Antiquities Minister Khalid Al-Anani and Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General of the Supreme Court of Antiquities, visited the site on Sunday and inspected the excavation work in the shaft. The Secretary General said the discovery includes a wonderful collection of colored wooden coffins whose colors and inscriptions are still in a good condition despite the passage of 2,500 years. At number 4, oil prices dropped more than $1 a barrel on Monday, hitting the lowest since July. The drop is coming after Saudi Arabia made the deepest monthly price cuts for supply to Asia in 5 months. Brent crude was at $41.75 a barrel, down by 91 cents or 2.1% after sliding earlier to $41.51, the lowest since July 30th. US West Texas Intermediate crude dropped by 91 cents or 2.3% to $38.86 a barrel. The world's top oil exporter, Saudi Arabia, cut the October official selling price for Arab Light crude it sells to Asia by the biggest margin since May. At number 3, on Monday, health workers gave the federal government an ultimatum to address all their demands before September 13, or they will proceed on strike. The health workers also urged the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, to take over the negotiations between them and the government from the minister, Chris Ngige. They accused Senator Ngige, who incidentally is a medical doctor, of compromise. The national chairman of the workers, Comrade Joy Josiah, who disclosed this at a press conference in Abuja, said that the commitment of the union to resolve issues through dialogue has been taken for granted, and that if their requests are not granted, they would go on strike from September 13th. At number 2, about a month to the governorship election in Ondo State, political thugs have taken over the Ondo State House of Assembly, causing anxiety across the state capital. A source at the assembly confirmed that the purpose of the thugs barricading the state assembly as early as 7:30 a.m. on Monday was to prevent the 9 suspended lawmakers from gaining access into the complex in spite of the court judgment squashing their suspension. 9 lawmakers were suspended by the assembly for refusing to sign the impeachment notice served on the deputy governor, Agboola Ajayi. The development is part of the ongoing feud between Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and his deputy, Agboola Ajayi, both of whom are candidates of separate parties for the October 10th governorship election. Finally, at number 1, President Muhammadu Buhari has warned that it would be economically dangerous for Nigeria to go back to the era of fuel subsidy. He cited grave financial cost and a return to the era of long fuel queues as consequences. President Buhari said this on Monday while declaring open the first-year ministerial performance review retreat for ministers, permanent secretaries, and top government functionaries at the State House Conference Center. Buhari, who was represented by the Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, also spoke about the recent electricity tariff adjustment, which he regretted had to be allowed in order to address the inconveniences that Nigerians had experienced over the years in power supply. He said the fuel price hike was as a result of the decision to deregulate the price of petrol and the activities in the global petroleum market. The president also added that going back to subsidizing would not be advisable now, considering that national revenue had dropped by 60% and that the revised 2020 budget has no provision for fuel subsidy. Always remember to wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay safe. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.